Hi there, I'm Larissa from Your Horse magazine and I'm here at Your Horse Live 2014 with the one and only dressage sensation, Carl Hester. Carl, lovely to see you. You're back at Your Horse Live. This is not your first time here, is it?
No, this must be about my fourth or fifth time here, I think. I was looking at a video, funny enough, of me riding Escapado, so probably at least over 10 years ago was my first demonstration here. So it was a very long time ago, and it's always popular, it's always busy, and it's always a great way of educating horses as well, bringing them here.
Yeah, exactly. And so is that what sort of keeps bringing you back?
Well, yeah, I think that it's also very important, obviously, like with the success that dressage has, to try and explain why it's successful, how it's successful, and this year I've done a little bit something different as well. We've brought a coloured cob with us because I just thought that was great, because I mean everybody does, anybody who rides is doing some form of dressage. It's not just for the fabulous warm bloods that you see. So yeah, it should be quite good fun. I've only seen it once before, so it's going to be a little bit creative, I think, for me as well.
Fantastic, so something a bit different then, that's brilliant. And also, obviously, you and Charlotte are not joined at the hip, we know that, but you're kind of a dynamic duo. What's your plans going forward for you individually and for you and Charlotte?
Yeah, I mean, Charlotte and I have been working together now for 8 years, so yeah, it's never Carl and it's never Charlotte, it's just Carl and Charlotte now. We don't seem to have separate lives, but of course we do, and we actually only ride together 4 days a week, and that's enough. That keeps it. We get on like that, and no, we're still very much hoping to be part of British teams. Vallegro's only 12 years old. Nip Tuck's 10 years old. They're two young horses with big futures still ahead of them, and we still intend to train together and just keep it going. So, the future of British dressage really, you have to have these wonderful horses that have been part of our medal teams, and of course there are lots of other people snapping at our heels, which is all great competition. I mean, when you have a lot of success in a sport, of course it brings a lot of new people in, and even last year, we had one of our junior riders win double gold in ponies, never been done before either. So I'm sure that's off the back of the seniors as well, and of course our paras are so successful. Yeah, British dressage is looking really healthy, and Charlotte and I just want to keep being a part of that, really.
Fantastic. So who do you rate that's sort of coming up through the ranks at the minute?
Well, I mean, Phoebe Peters is an obvious. She is the double gold medalist, and in fact Charlotte is her mentor, and she rides a couple of young horses for Charlotte. I don't really have a lot to do with the young riders, juniors, ponies. I don't actually have time to train so many of them, but I've had some really good kids. Lottie Fry as well, she was very highly placed. Olivia Oakley. These are all sort of like the under-21s, and then in the seniors we've got some great horses coming through with Spencer Wilton, Henrietta Anderson. Of course, Laura Bechtelsheimer is also helping a girl called Lara Griffiths, doing a little bit what I've done for Charlotte. So it's really nice, everyone's helping each other, and there's some very exciting looking horses maybe for future teams.
Fantastic. It's a friendly community then on the dressage circuit.
Oh, I mean, I think the horse community as a whole is friendly. I mean, you just have to walk around here and everyone's smiling and chatting, and it's a bond that does hold a lot of people together. And I mean, obviously when you're a competitor there is going to be an element of fight, and there's going to be an element of you want to be the best. That's quite normal, and that's healthy, but it's not evil by any means, that's for sure.
And have you got your sights firmly set on Rio 2016?
Oh, definitely, yeah. I mean, Vallegro will only be 14 and Nip Tuck will be 12. I mean, brilliant ages to go there. Of course, it's keeping enthusiasm. That's what you have to do. I mean, I can ride a Grand Prix, Charlotte can ride a Grand Prix, the horses can do it, but we have to keep enthusiastic and keep it all fresh, really. But as I already said, there are some really good combinations behind us now, and it's certainly not just a question of you will be going to Rio if you want to. It'll be a real battle for it.
Brilliant, brilliant. And do you have any advice for any budding dressage riders out there who'd love to sort of break through and get on the circuit? Particularly the grassroots level, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think the interesting thing is that my own story and Charlotte's story are very much from grooms' backgrounds. We were grooms. I was a groom for a rider, and Charlotte was my groom. So I think that in itself explains that if you start at the bottom, it is possible to work your way to the top. So I think it's obviously that ideal situation always with inexperienced riders and riders coming up is obviously to try and get themselves into a yard where, you know, they get opportunities to ride. I mean, you know, I do also understand that many people can't afford their own horses or can't afford training, so therefore they have to become working pupils. The one question always that you shouldn't ask when you go for an interview is how much money am I going to get and what's my first, you know, when do I get a day off?
Yeah.
You know, it's about hard work. You do, but you shouldn't be. That shouldn't be your first question. It's amazing how many people, you know, that I've interviewed, that's what they say, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. This is really, you know, this is about you getting opportunities, working hard for it, and so you have to learn to conduct yourself well in an interview as well.
Yeah, it's all about hard graft then. Yeah, definitely. Now, I can hardly believe I'm saying this, but the time of year has come. It's starting to get a bit festive. What will you be doing for Christmas, and more importantly, what's on your Christmas list? I can't imagine what could be on Carl Hester's Christmas list.
That'll take some thinking. At Christmas, I love staying at home. Alan, who is my travelling head lad, he very kindly always stays for Christmas to do the horses, because we've got 18 horses in. So Alan, myself, any friends that unfortunately end up staying with me get roped in to help do Christmas and Boxing Day. So it's really nice actually just to spend time just in a nice atmosphere. The yard is so quiet, obviously, then. Alan and I often go for a hack together on Boxing Day. We just go and amble around the rows and chat, and, you know, we take Allegro and Utopia, and, you know, they just become, you know, real riding club horses for the Christmas period. So that's nice. And no, I don't really want for much, actually. I'm very content with what I've got. I'm very lucky. I just hope my horses stay healthy, and, you know, and everybody that works for us and around us, and, you know, we continue to be successful, really. I mean, I'm lucky, you know. Over the years I've built up, you know, a nice string of horses and a lovely place to be and train. So no, I don't want for much.
Oh, well, that's lovely. Well, we'll let you go and enjoy the rest of your horse live. You've got your demo coming up. Is there anyone in particular you're hoping to see? If you get a minute, I suppose you'll have a lot of things on your schedule.
Yeah, well, you will know if you've seen a schedule for your horse live.
I have.
You don't get 5 minutes literally to go and watch anybody else. I do love watching everybody else. I mean, Paul Tatner's obviously here for the eventing. I'm a big fan of eventing. Love watching that, and there's interesting Jason Webb. Never seen or met Jason before, so looking forward to meeting him later on the questions and answers. It's just be lovely to have 1 hour free to go and wander around all the shops, and that's what I'd really like to do, and just do what everyone else does, just enjoy the shopping.
Yeah, I'd say we'd try and arrange that for you, but I think you're just too popular, Carl.
There's no time, I can see.
Would you ever fancy dabbling in eventing? Just a quick question. You mentioned Paul there.
No, God, not now. No, I was an event rider before a dressage rider, so
you would go back to it.
No, I did go back to it. Funny enough, I started life as an event rider, and then I went to work for Dr. Bechtel-Simon, and then when I left him, I went back to eventing. And you know, I think you have to know when you're beaten. And for me, as a competitor, you know, I want to do things that are I'm going to have success in, you know, and I just felt that, you know, I was playing at it. I'm not talented enough to do that. So I very quickly realised that, in fact, dressage was the way I was going to go. But I mean, I think the important point there is, you know, I'm just glad I had an all-round education, so I know about jumping, cross country, hacking, and I think that's why people are surprised when they think that dressage horses or our dressage horses get turned out, go hacking, go cantering. You know, it's no surprise to me.
Yeah.
It's just a normal way of, you know, of keeping horses, and I'm glad I had that education before the refinements and the confinements of dressage and what it brings, really.
Yeah.